Welcome to the Hoopers Delight Podcast, Episode 8, with Coach AJ, EBC, and Coach Key. This is the University Athletes captain right here. Today we're doing a little bit different. We are showing the fans and the supporters some love, and we are on an Instagram Live right now where we're going to receive questions and we're going to give out some good answers, hopefully. So tap into Episode 8. Here we go.
All right, let's start with a good one. I'm here on the EBC Live and getting some good questions from you fans out there. First one, who's the best player in the state of Idaho, in your opinion, all around?
In the state of Idaho that currently plays in Idaho?
Currently plays in Idaho. Who are you taking to start a team? Who are you building a team around? I mean, you got Liam and Case and Hostvite and Howell and Rasmussen and all of them.
I'm going to take, what division are we playing in?
Let's say a high school team, 5A high school team, a 5A high school team.
I'm taking Liam Campbell.
You're going to take Liam Campbell?
Yep.
I'm going to take Case Why Not.
It's a good one.
I'm taking Case Why Not because I'm enjoying the triple-double. I'm enjoying, and you know, we've had fans talking about, oh, he dropped 68 at the 1A level. You couldn't do it?
Right.
You couldn't do that.
68 is 68.
68 is 68.
And if it's that easy, I encourage you to go to your local city league or your home rec or wherever, and let's see if you can score 68 and win.
And win. And
then a triple-double on top of that.
Yeah, and a triple-double on top of that. Case Why Not for me.
So if you can't do it in the rec league, you can't do it in city league, and you talking trash about it happening in the 1A, y'all need to just go do something else. Pick up basket weaving or knitting.
Why Liam Campbell for you?
Liam Campbell for me, he's already got a chip. He's arguably the most unguardable player right now because of the physical skills that he has on top of his ability to shoot the ball, his size, and just his feel for the game. Like, if they gave him the amount of free throws that he truly deserves, he would average probably 25, 30. And a lot of their games would be even further apart. If he played, like, you got to think, majority of his stats are coming through 2 quarters or 2.5 quarters of play.
Yeah.
So you can't really gauge his numbers based upon games played. You got to gauge it based upon his per.
Yeah.
So, you know, for those that don't know, his per 32, how many points is he scoring within the 32 minutes that he gets because he doesn't play the whole game.
Yeah.
So if you look at what he does, and then he also can rebound. He's already won 1 ring. You know, they're looking to get another one, so that'd be 2. And then so far, from what I've seen, I think, how many does Case got? 2?
Case has 2.
2.
Probably going to get a third.
Probably going to get a third. So, and he's been on teams that have been exceptionally well with Titus Uriel, other Division I players as well as Liam. But those would be my 2, 1A, 1B. And then I'd also put in Julian Bowie, who I think is, to me, that's more of how I play, shooting threes. Well, not shooting threes, but shooting jump shots.
Yeah.
And just more athletic. Him and Isaac Davis, those guys. There's really a plethora of guys that can really hoop. To me, honestly, I would pick Liam, and then Case, those 2 are 1A, 1B. But then actually my third guy that I would pick would be Nash Humphreys.
Yeah.
That's a guy that I just like. I could watch him hoop.
Yeah.
I could watch him hoop. Like, if they live close, I would be at a lot more games because he just has the leadership qualities that a lot of kids don't have, and then he has the big shot. Like, he can make big shots, he takes big shots, and he's just a different level of player in my opinion.
Yeah, he's fun to watch. I was just thinking about him too as well. Davis, Bowie, all those guys, a bunch of ballers back east, bro. Mm-hmm. So next question, what do you think about Coeur d'Alene this year and about the North? Coeur d'Alene currently leads the North. Post Falls, I believe, is in 2nd. Lake City's 3rd, and Lewiston is 4th.
Post Falls turned it around.
Yeah, Tyrus Blake, Neil McCarthy, they got a nice duo up there.
Tyrus worked hard. I seen him when he was at Idaho Select. I seen him, he came and worked out a couple times. And kid plays hard. He's athletic. He's long.
Yeah.
And he just, like, I mean, he showed glimpse last year. Just wasn't a really good situation as far as, you know, all the help that he has. Supporting cast wasn't really there, but now he's got, you know, more of it, and they've arrived. So he has more experience and stuff like that. So I think that they're good. I think Coeur d'Alene, boy, QB1 dominating, dunking the ball.
Caden Simmons.
And just playing well. And I think Coeur d'Alene is one of those teams where they're just tough. They're big, they're tough. And when you led by a quarterback, to me, like quarterback, point guard, pitcher, those guys are all leaders, just natural, you know. So I think when you have good leadership and you have a tougher leader, I feel like that puts you in a good position to win. So Coeur d'Alene going to make some noise this year.
Yeah, Coeur d'Alene. I like Coeur d'Alene. I love Logan Orchard, the Eastern Oregon commit. I think he is in pole position as of now to be player the year in that league. He's tough. He's great.
They was good last year
defensively.
too, right?
Yeah,
They
they
was
were
solid
tough
last
last
year,
year. Yep, they were very good. And they got Carter Rupp, he's a
I've seen
bucket.
stuff about
Yeah.
him too. Yeah.
Carter Rupp can hoop, he can fill it up. Orchard kind of does everything for them. Simmons is a hooper. He's shown his growth, his athleticism, his strength, and he, that football season he had where he took over for quarterback and they made a run from the start of the season when he took over after the second or third game. They made a run all the way to the state championship.
Right.
He's carried that
Right.
attitude over, and then obviously his sister Maddie Simmons, who
And dad is a coach, right? And
dad
mom is a
coaches
coach.
dad coaches NIC,
Yep,
which
I
is
played
Northern
against his
Idaho.
dad.
They're
His dad is a dog.
yeah, they're nationally
coach.
ranked. They're always one of the best teams in the country. And then you got his mom, who is the defending state champ. She coaches the Coeur d'Alene girls team with Tegan Colvin, Brooksley Colvin, Maddie Mitchell, and then Maddie Simmons, her daughter, is a freshman at Wyoming this year, getting minutes, and they're having a decent season. So the Simmons family is a basketball family. So they've got
Winners.
They're winners. They're winners.
We're not just basketball, winners.
Winners. And so Orchard, they got Larson as well. They've got different pieces on that Coeur d'Alene team. I picked them to win that league, initially. And then Lake City's got some guys back. You got Reese Strawn, Casey Miller. Reese Strawn averaging around 20 points a game.
Both my guys.
Yep.
Casey Miller, Reese Strawn, those guys, ballers.
They're
ballers.
still young. That's a young team. Josh Watson,
He's
cousin
gonna
of
be nasty.
Anton Watson from Gonzaga.
He's
He's
gonna be
having
nasty.
He can rebound. He one of the best rebounders in the state over
Athletic.
there. They got a 6'7" freshman that's starting. They've got some different pieces at Lake City. So it's a pretty balanced league. I think any one of those teams can they can beat each other. That always comes down to what happens in the district tournament. Who's going to show up ready to play? Who's going to win? Who's going to get the automatic bid? And then who's going to get to the playing game? And what's the matchup going to be against the SIC team every year? Because we saw Lewiston almost beat Meridian last year getting into state tournament, but Ryan Baker with the cold-blooded game winner. And so the North is going to be fun to follow. The East, I'm just going to throw the East out there, is Madison. And that's what it is. It's Madison, and that's what it is.
And let's go back one question. In regards to top players, I will say this. I'm a little biased towards the Treasure Valley just because these are the kids that I get to see day in and day out. And that's no disrespect to the Bowies and the Isaac Davis and National. But those guys are all beasts too. And you could build your team around each one of those guys. Julian Bowie is a spectacular talent. Those guys have a bunch of killers. Up north, you have guys. When I don't get the opportunity to see you till state or only get to see you online, it's harder to make my observation on you because I don't have enough in with my own eyes seeing exactly what you're doing, how you're talking, how you're leading, because the camera only shows so much. The video only shows so much. I want to see how you're speaking to your teammates. How are you on the bench? What are you doing in the AAU season? And I try to follow as many of these guys as I can. And, the guys that reach out to me or whatever, have a conversation with and build a relationship with. Those are the guys that I'm going to put forth, and you may call me a little biased. I think we all are entitled to our own opinion when it comes to who's the best player. I wouldn't say there's any one in particular. It just depends on what style you like, which style you like to play, and stuff like that.
So top duo in the state at any level, and I'm going to start with this one because I think it's Nash Humphrey and Barrett Wilson.
Yeah,
that's my top duo, and a lot of people think, oh, that's crazy because Ike Sutton and Isaac Davis is one we could touch on. You could touch on Raz and Liam. You could touch on Bowden Howell.
Well, I don't think Hawaii has a duo.
Agree.
They got a squad.
Agree.
So,
they have a squad. But I think Nash Humphrey and Barrett Wilson. Barrett Wilson deserves a ton of credit. He's a monster.
He is a stud.
He's a Division I basketball player.
They got a squad too. I'm not gonna lie, they got a squad
top.
too.
They're number 2 for a reason. And there's a question here from our boy Theo. What's up, my boy?
Theo.
Do you think any team will knock off Hawaii? If any team can, who would it be? And I say Madison. And then next probably Meridian. That's
that state tournament. I'll tell you this: that Idaho Center a little bit different. When them lights is bright, you get to see who really man up, who really got them, got that with them. So honestly, that's tough. I would say probably go with the same Madison and Meridian, or
is there another team that you think can play with those guys?
I don't know, man. Nah. Those are the two that are mainly from the Idaho Center experience that I could see that would that environment would help them.
Yeah.
Especially like a team like Meridian. I think that would be a team that could. They've done it before, so they're familiar with that. Personally, I don't see it happening again.
Yeah.
To no disrespect to nobody, but it's like after that taste, you've had that taste. They've had that taste for an entire year, and they got better.
Well, and they've played Madison and Meridian
And
already.
they played, and it's like for me, I think too is to beat Owyhee, you have to play 4 quarters complete.
Yeah.
Like, because they got guys, like you could have an off night. Any one of their top 7 guys, 8 guys could have an off night and they'll still be fine. You could have even 2 of them having an off night and still be fine because they're not really going off of, like, they have a different leading score every game. The most consistent person that's been putting up points so far has been Raz. But, I mean, Liam scored. I mean, you already know who Liam is. He's done with his USC for a reason.
Bucket.
And then you got Bowden Howe, who dropped 50 last year. So it's like, and Logan was, he was, first team All SIC last year. So it really just depends. Any of those guys, Cam Downey's been a guy that can get buckets. Jackson Rogers is a guy who can get buckets, can put it up. Jace Allen was at Skyview killing everybody, then came here and decided to make for everybody else. And so any of those guys really could. I just don't see it. Like, I see Madison maybe the closest, Meridian, and Madison have to play. Nash got to have 35. Barrett got to have 30. They got to do like a Tatum and Brown type thing, and then they have the other kid. What number is he?
The shooter?
Luke.
Or that Luke Watson?
Luke Watson.
They got Luke Watson.
Boy. So they got guys.
Chase Crane.
Chase Crane
He
was balling
locks
too.
up.
So
He wants to defend.
the Madison will be the closest, I think.
He goes, talk about up north for once. You always yapping about SIC schools. Well, we're from down here, and the north has 4 schools, and we just talked about it, so you're welcome. Let's see.
And all last year was the North.
Yeah, last year was all north, all Lake
Even
City.
like, how many times did you go to Lake City?
Yeah, I lived up there for 2 months. You're
Right.
welcome.
Yeah.
Jeez, give the north some love. I moved up
Started
north.
some of the media companies up there.
Jeez, yeah, bro.
Could we lay off the hate, please?
Come on, no hate, because we are not. EBC, such a dink.
The haters.
Lewiston Barstool is upset because they're the worst team in the North right now. So you got to prove it. I'm a fan of Drew Hottinger. They have athletes and all that, but like, I promise we aren't the ones you want to start yapping at. Let's see. Let's find another one here. Here we go. Who is gonna win state on the girls' side? You got to pick a team. Who you picking? Pick 2 teams. I got Rigby and Boise. I'm gonna go with. I got Avery Howe winning the state championship this year, but Rigby, scary. I'll touch on that in a minute. Who you got, bro?
That was I was gonna say. I got Boise and I got Coeur d'Alene.
Ooh, you got them. Yeah.
Actually, it's a toss up between Coeur d'Alene and Lake City, because Lake City got Waddington.
Waddington, who's Montana, and then their point guard Sophie Zufel.
Yeah.
Shout out Kaysa Miller. Just got her first Division I offer.
Yeah, so I would say it's a toss-up between Coeur d'Alene and Lake City, but I'm going with Boise and Avery Howe.
Yeah.
I think they get it done this year. She needed.
100%. Okay. A little transition. Who's the front runner for the MVP in the NBA? It says, and did Joker get robbed last year with Embiid? It's tough to say Embiid got robbed after he just had a 70 bomb last night.
Ooh, well, if you want to get to the NBA talk, no, I do think the Joker did get robbed last year based upon he had better stats than the years before. He was more efficient throughout the entire course of the season, and his numbers were better. I think this year, though, is a runaway with Joel Embiid. He just dropped a 70-piece on Victor Wembanyama. So for me, I would say it's Joel. He hasn't scored below 30 in the last 25, 26 games. He's unguardable, and he's had multiple triple-doubles this season. He's been healthy, so he's been available.
But they'll lose in the playoffs.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
They're going to lose in the playoffs. Yeah, it's over for that. But for a regular season, Joel Embiid for sure. And I would rather it be Shea. Shea is my guy. I wish Shea would win it. But it's the 2 best players in the league right now from a statistical standpoint and just unguardable is the Joker and Embiid by a mile.
Is Edwards in the conversation?
Yeah, he's not consistent enough. He had last night. What do you have? 9 and 11.
Yeah,
and Cat has 62.
Yeah, he let Cat be Cat last.
But is he averaging 20? Is he averaging 30?
No.
Shea's averaging 31 right now.
Yeah, no. Shea for me is.
And he's leading the league in steals.
That's why I'm taking.
And he's the most efficient in the post up. He's the most efficient in the post up. He don't say nothing. He got dudes complaining about his free throws attempts, and they're shooting 2 less free throws than him.
Yeah.
He's swaggiest player, most efficient scorer right now, and double him. that OKC team from a talent standpoint, they don't have all these stars and proven guys. These are young guys. Chet over here dominating. Like, he's getting the most out of Chet. He's getting the most out of Jalen Williams. He's getting the most out of Isaiah Joe. If you're really into this hoop stuff and you really watch this like I do,
Giddey.
you would know all this stuff. Josh Giddey is solid. He's back and forth, but he play makes. Shea is unguardable. Lou Dort. Like, really look at how they defend and how they talk, how physical they are, and look at all the intangibles that the guys outside of Shea, even Shea does have, but outside of Shea have. Look at Chet. Look at what he does. Look at all the intangibles he has.
Rookie of the year? Chet?
Yeah.
That's tough.
He would be mine. Personally, he would be mine.
I mean,
but it's going to be Victor because Victor is number one in points, rebounds, blocks. He's fifth in assists. And what else is he? He's top 3 in another category, steals, I think. So it's like
that's crazy.
But they team trash. So it's
know.
like, sorry, Matt, that's Matt's team. But his team trash.
He's the one that was asking about the MVP. Let's see. Here we go. Case Why Not would not be first team All-State at 5A level. You don't know basketball.
Yeah, at all.
You don't know basketball.
Like, do you see how he scores?
Not paying attention. Okay, let's see.
Hey, Case, why not getting this much hate?
Have
any of you ever even met Case Why Not and seen how he is as a person?
Or watched basketball?
Like, he's super humble. He don't talk about himself. He's breaking all these records. He doesn't even care. He just hooping. People don't know. Maybe it's because I've been in the gym.
What's your thoughts on? We talked about Rocky in the last episode. Tune into episode 7 if you want to hear about us talking about all the SIC teams. So Lewiston Barstool, make sure you tap into episode 7. You'll love it. Let's see. Is Avery Howell going to be a McDonald's All-American? We find out today, and she plays tonight against rival Timberline. Is Avery Howell going to be a McDonald's All-American?
I mean, I would say so. She's top 25 or 26 in the country.
Part of the #1 recruiting class, Gatorade Player of the Year as a junior, and probably the fastest rising
she had a 40 ball
recruit
in the 3SSB.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, from seeing all the stuff that she's done, she played on the Team USA from the circuit, so she had the
went
Team
over
USA.
To Europe.
Dominated on that. Was dominated.
Was top player for Team USA.
Well, not only that, I'm pretty sure she was in the top 3-point percentage too, or 3-pointers made in the 3SSB.
And rebounds.
Yeah,
as a guard.
We already know that. She's just different.
Yeah.
So it's like, I mean, for me, from what I've seen, yeah, she's like that. She just had 37 last game.
Yeah. I hope she has another 37 tonight because I'm gonna go catch that out.
She's different.
Let's see. Come on, guys. Let's get some questions here. There's so much trolling going on. All right, y'all never give respect to Lewiston. Lewiston beat Post Falls by 20, then Post Falls, beat Lake City. Played Coeur d'Alene tough. I mean, that's the North though. The North is it's Coeur d'Alene and then it's pretty balanced. Anybody can beat anybody.
Well, it's not even like we're trying to not give Lewiston no credit. Like, we don't see Lewiston that much. The last time I seen Lewiston was them losing to Meridian.
Yep.
Out there.
Yeah.
So it's like, if you want us to really see something, make some noise, put out some highlights, do something so we can see you. We want to see you. It's not like we want to show love. That's our goal, is to show love, but we can't show love what we don't see. And if all we're receiving is hate from the people that we haven't seen, like, how do you want us to? You want us to assess? You want us to give you an honest opinion, and we haven't seen you, and then the only thing that we see from you is hate towards us?
Yeah.
Make it make sense.
Yeah, make it make sense. It says Capital is underachieving. Do you agree?
Ooh, hot take.
And that was by Culture Shock Academy, who then goes on to say they'll be ready though, which we just talked about in episode 7. Tune into episode 7. You want to hear some Capital Eagle talk. We talk plenty about Capital and about our thoughts on them. We go actually probably more in depth on Capital than we do.
We say they're the dark horse. So that's a little preview.
And Talasso, Baby Zion.
Baby Zion.
Your boy.
Yep.
Let's see. Got a couple more here. All right. What do you think of Reese Strawn, the point guard from Lake City?
Bucket. Reese Strawn is a high IQ player. He gets to his spots. He's efficient with what he has. He doesn't try to do too much. And the thing is, when you have a full game plan designed to stop you and you're still putting up 25, 26, that shows your level of IQ. That shows also that you're watching film and you're in the film room. That shows that you're also putting in extra work and putting up reps. So for me, Reese Strawn is one of them guys.
Yeah. Reese Strawn is is a monster. I watched him pop off for 30 plus multiple times in the club season. Plays for Meta Hoops. He's a kid that he goes to all these point guard camps. He's a Dan Dickau fan. He's from up there. He's a Dan Dickau Gonzaga fan. He's watched all those point guards. He can carry. He can carry them to the state tournament. He could carry them through the district tournament, and Lake City could win the district tournament and go to state. They could get to a playing game, and if you haven't played against him, you better be ready for him, because Reece Strong can go, and he's got help. Josh Watson, Casey Miller, like I said, they've got different guys that have played in the circuit. They understand. They're the defending champs. They've got guys from that defending championship team that they know how to win. We'll see. But Coeur d'Alene, for me, is a team to beat up there. Lewiston, dark horse for Lewiston, the Bengal Barstool, who's saying, "Hey, bozo, how are you going to talk with Lewiston beat Post Falls?" There you go. Lewiston going to win state for basketball. Rigby girls. Rigby girls are absolutely stacked. They are the most physical team in the state. Tiare Togiai, with tons of her family, are Division I football players and athletes. She's a beast. Cambry Barber, the BYU commit, maybe the most athletic female basketball player in the state is Cambry Barber. Shout out to Coach Whiting and her daughter Amari out there at BYU doing great things.
Yep.
Cambry Barber committed there. You got Kinsley Larson, who's a sophomore, who's a bucket. She just committed to play for Meta Hoops, which is a great decision for her. Then they got Kylie Danzy, college basketball player. Miley Graham, college basketball player. They're loaded. I think they should win state, but I think Avery Howell's like that. Right. And they need to get Katie Hahn healthy and back, because without Katie Hahn, I don't think they beat Rigby. But then Lake City and Coeur d'Alene, both big problems as well. Rocky Mountain has a ton of girls back from that runner-up team. You've got Eagle with Paige Kofer, who can carry you through a state tournament and win a state championship.
Anna's been balling.
Yeah,
And I think it's her senior night tonight.
Who?
It's Paige Kofer
Paige Kofer senior night tonight.
Her and Molly
Johnson.
Shout out to them.
Yeah, if they're healthy, they're tough. They got Parker Wood, who transferred over. Bella Thompson can shoot the ball. The freshman Berkeley Jones is
Berg Jones. That's an adversity girl, by the way, just in case you ain't know. Now you know.
Yeah, and then
but she's a bucket.
Waihe girls. Sydney Rodriguez is a bucket. Josie Davis is getting better. Mikhail Roy's an athlete. Riley Beck's getting better.
I'm rough on them. I ain't gonna lie. I'm rough on them. I'm rough on them.
And I think they can make a run. So
they
don't
can, and they have all the potential. And this is if you take this as an insult or you take this the wrong way, that's on you, not on me. But Owyhee girls can make a run, and they could be a team that could get it done. I think they have enough talent. But here's the thing: are you gonna put it together?
Yeah.
Are you gonna play together? Can't be shooting 15 attempts and having 0 assists from point guard all the way down. Like I've watched a bunch of their games and I've seen the spurts and flashes of what I'm like, okay, this team can go. And then I've seen them fall apart, and it's like, dude, if you're just playing to get your numbers, you're playing it all wrong.
Yeah.
You got to win. Nobody cares about the 25 and the L.
Yeah.
You got to win. Cat just had 62. We're talking about.
Yeah.
They lost. Nobody care about his 62.
Yeah.
44 in the first half. So Owyhee girls, I think y'all got it. Y'all got to put it together. And AJ says you guys to go. I think that you guys have the potential to be one of those teams to make some noise, but it's on you.
Yeah.
It's on you.
So and then I want to touch on a team who I think is been a big surprise, and I'm a big fan of their coach, Middleton girls.
Middleton, their energy different.
Yeah, Zoe Black, their media game is different too, but Zoe Blackwell's a monster. She's a big-time hooper. She's a potential first-team all-conference girl. They got pieces around them. They're dogs. And
you want to know what I think for
Coach
them too?
Blackwell's killing it.
Coach Blackwell, her assistant, I know Rose over
Rose,
there.
Rose a dude.
The energy that program has and the swagger that they've like, when I see it's Ro, because I know that's who he is. That's what they needed. Those girls love each other. They're fist bumping, chest bumping.
Yeah.
And they're playing for each other. They've upset some teams. They're competing hard. That's a team to look out for.
I mean,
they're gonna be scary because it's Zoe. What, sophomore?
Zoe's a sophomore. Zoe Blackwell's a sophomore doing things. And the thing is, they had a situation at the start of the year. They had some drama, some things going on, trying to get a feel for each other. They got through it and allowed that to make them better, which a lot of teams, most teams, crumble. They can't work through that type of stuff. But Ro Coach Blackwell, they got it all figured out. They got the girls on the same page. The girls rallied.
Yeah, they looking good.
And they've been balling.
They've
been balling. So look out for Middleton. That's not a matchup I'd want. So the SIC is loaded. Timberline got Emmy Swilly and Grace Mertez, 2 hoopers.
And my girl Lexi Moore.
And Lexi Moore's over
been
there.
up for Player of the Week twice now.
Yeah, they got hoopers too. They could get to the state tournament because Jones gets them there every year. So
and he's won how many chips?
Yeah.
One at Caldwell, one at Middleton, one at Timberline. You want to talk about women's coach guru? Coach Jones. Coach Jones is my guy. He's one of those guys too that if you buy into his programs, and what he's trying to do, you're going to be successful. His Middleton team, I'm pretty sure, won 3 in a row, and they were going to win a 4th. We had a couple injuries. They have the record for the most wins, consecutive wins, and just the way that this player's going to play college, and they come back and play for him and coach for him, and dude is a piece of genius.
He collected rings like MJ and Brady did.
And he's straight up. There is no sugarcoating nothing. He'll say something, and you may take it the wrong way. He don't care. As long as it's about winning, as long as it's about putting the team first, that's what he embodies. That's him.
No, they're tough. They almost beat Rocky the other day too. They got Boise tonight, which I'm gonna try to go check that out. But I got a good one here. Hillcrest Pocatello, round 3 state championship. Is Hillcrest gonna go 3 straight, or can Pokey get them? Because ultimately, it looks like it's coming down to those 2 teams again. There's a huge gap.
Be careful though.
Who?
Preston.
Yeah.
Preston, we can't forget about Preston. And from what
always.
I've seen from Preston over the last, since I was in high school, really after I left high school, Preston has always found a way to upset somebody when they need to.
Mm-hmm.
So we can't forget about Preston. I do think that this is Julian's year, though. That's my opinion.
They just beat Pokey too.
And they just beat Pokey, but I do think that will be everything that they need to motivate them where stuff ain't sweet, and they're going to come out there and start dominating. So I do see them in Hillcrest in the state championship game, but this time I think it's a little different. Last year, Julian had 39. I think this year he go for the 45 piece and get the ring.
Yeah.
And if not, Isaac Davis going to have a monster double-double. Ike Sutton going to have a little 20 piece.
Yeah.
And you got Hempworth. You got
Taylor, Larson.
I mean,
they're loaded.
They got so many.
They're loaded.
It's hard to say. That game is depends on which side the momentum's on, which side the fans is on. How was the travel here? How was the rest? How was the preparation and everything that led up? Who had a tough game? Who had a scare?
Who shoots the ball well?
Who shoots the ball well? Who runs out of gas? Who stays healthy? Right now you've seen Hillcrest has been battling injury after injury. Bowie's playing with a little injury bug on his little hit on his heel, his Achilles. So but if they're all healthy, we're going to see a war.
Yeah, because I'm a big Kessler Vaughn fan. Kessler Vaughn's a dog. They got Gage there at the center position. He's getting better and better. They got guys. They got guys around them who can hoop. It's who's going to show up. But round 3, I think I'm going to go with Pocatello as well. I've said that before the season. I'm going to go Pokey. And Hillcrest doesn't like that. That'll give them some motivation to go three-piece back to back to back, which would be crazy impressive.
Well, I challenge Ike Sutton and Isaac Davis to their leadership. I seen them over the Christmas tournament, and I said the same thing. So when I see them again, it's all love always. I'm never going to say something that is trying to be a detriment to your growth as a player, especially going on in your journey to college. I'm going to say everything I can to help you.
Yeah.
And so, I'm challenging their leadership, their senior leadership. Are you going to lead your team? And are you going to repeat? What is this, 3-peat?
Yeah.
It's up to you guys. Are you going to lead your teammates? Are you going to be good examples, good leaders? Are you going to show up? That's my challenge to you. I know you guys can.
Because they should win it.
Yeah.
They should win it. That team, been there, done that. Most of those guys back. But I ultimately think the loss of KJ Kessler, Kobe Kessler, is going to be the deciding factor. And I'm going to give Bowie one. So let's see. We got a couple more questions. Let's see. It's hard to look for questions when we sit here talking, but Coach Key, what do you think about, let's see, who's your favorite Idaho media page besides EBC?
Who's my favorite Idaho media page besides EBC? Man.
EBC is no longer a media page, though.
Covering games, making videos, highlights,
Yeah.
Well, which one?
Yeah,
Covering games?
all of it. All of it.
Or like the highlight reels? Like, are we talking about
highlight reels?
highlight reels? Shoot, my favorite? I don't really have a favorite. I like everybody's work, from the guys that are just starting up to the guys that have been doing it. I would say, honestly, the
Olsen Productions
Olsen
is your day one.
Well, Caden.
Caden doesn't count. You can't say Caden.
Yeah, I can't really count.
You can't
Caden.
say
It's not really
count,
fair
you can't
because
count
that's been one of my
CDN.
people, and so is Jake. I don't really count Jake because those are two that I've known forever. But
A lot of great media pages out there. I love the guy over at Capital, Strive 365.
oh yeah, he's been
killing it.
He's been doing
He's
his thing.
killing it. Sam Buff up north.
Well, who's the
Doing
guy who
his
does,
thing.
who does Centennials?
Media Day.
He just dropped some heat. He dropped some heat. I like his. I do like. I mean, obviously,
Cheech Flores.
Yeah, Cheech. Like,
so good.
I can't, like some of those guys that have been doing it forever.
Cherry
I can't.
Cheech.
Like Cherry Cheech. Like I can't.
BST.
Yeah, I can't.
All
we
the
can't.
dudes.
We can't really like. Those dudes are already like.
Yeah,
they're in
established.
their own- they're already
Next level.
done their stuff. So
Next level.
But I'll say from the new up and comers, I would say the Media Day. He's been balling.
Yeah.
The Capital guys.
Yeah.
He's always good. Those two have been.
Nahara Photo from
Boise. He's been
Boise.
doing
He
good.
does all their stuff. He better be getting paid because Boise might be like my favorite media page to follow his because he has everything. He gets everybody. He had every game. He does a great job and he does every sport. He does volleyball. He does track. He does all of it. Soccer.
Yeah, I like him too.
Yeah,
I like him. I do. And I think that even Meridian got a guy who. I guess Cheech did their video, so I can't really say that.
Yeah.
Cheech did their video, so.
Cheech does well. I think that there's a lot of great media outlets now. I think every school's coming up with their own, and I love Mad Jack, my guy Mad Jack.
He's one of the day ones though. He's been doing it.
Yeah. I love him out there at Eagle. There's so many people doing media now. It's great. It's great to see. But so I had somebody ask, Bowie or Davis, who are you taking? I think you said Bowie earlier as a guy that you would take to start a high school team around. Yeah, I mean that's hard.
It depends. Is it? Do I get to coach him and train him up?
Yeah.
Or do I just get him for the last dance, senior year?
Yeah.
So for me, like, because of, I like Julian's game and his ability to shoot and just his competitiveness and athleticism is great. I think Isaac, though, is kind of more of, like, Julian's a super nice kid and loves everybody, always has a smile on his face, good energy, TikTok dancer, does all these things, super good kid. And Isaac, for me, though, is one of those guys that you have to bring the best out of him. And that's kind of what I do.
Yeah.
And so for me, like, to develop him and give him the mindset of what I truly think that he needs, and then one, also being honest with him enough to where he respects you and you earn that relationship with him, I think he's a person I could really develop into like a monster. Like he's really good now. He's super athletic. He does all these things. But for me, I hold him to a high standard. He can play 1 through 4, even 5 maybe. But the thing for me is, and that's what I did, he's bigger than me.
Yeah.
He's more athletic than I was. Like in high school, we're night and day different. He was way bigger, way stronger, way faster, way more athletic. But when it comes to competing, I haven't found too many people like me.
Yeah.
That compete at the way that I do. Ray J. Dennis is one of them.
Yeah.
Isaiah Harwell is one of them. Those guys that have that just undenying motor that won't give up, will fight, and no matter what type of advantage you have, that's what I think that Isaac Davis needs to really dominate. I haven't seen the 2020 game yet with a 5 blocks.
Yeah.
Like that's the level I would hold him to. I would hold him to a 40-20 game. That's what I would hold. Like I wouldn't be surprised if he did that. Like he wouldn't get flowers from me doing that.
Yeah.
Now a 60 piece, maybe.
Yeah.
But like for the level of which he can get to and play at,
Yeah.
like he could be a guy that could get you 25, 15, 8 assists and get you 4 or 5 blocks and 3 or 4 steals and be a vocal leader and just be a dominant player.
Yeah.
You know, a Shaq type, like that just dominant. And he wouldn't have to just play big.
Yeah.
He could dribble the ball. He could come off a pick and roll. Like I just think his ceiling is so high because of how physically gifted he is from an athletic standpoint and how strong he is, and he's only going to get bigger, taller, stronger, faster. So, you know, I could build with both of them. I don't really think I could pick one. I know one would be more of, with Julian, it's like you tell him he'll go do it.
Yeah.
With Isaac, it's going to be more prying. pulling them in, ringing them in,
Yeah.
coaching them, really coaching them. Where Julian's going to do what you tell him to do.
Yeah.
And he's going to get it done. So
Yeah.
for them, either or. You give me whatever one you want.
Yeah.
Either way, they both going to be even nastier than they are now.
One kid in the state that you could train, not a senior, an underclassman, okay, not committed yet. One kid you could train that you would want to train. Who is a kid that you would like to reach out to and be like, come spend some time with me? I think I can help you with this. I think I can help you with that. I have a guy who I think you could help change his game, but I want you to go first, and then I'll share mine.
Out of everybody in the state?
Yeah.
Out of all the players, then I don't currently train them, obviously. Just somebody that I don't train.
That you look at his game and you're like, I could help this kid get to the next level.
Ooh,
You think about it, and I'll share mine.
okay.
Gabe Edens. And we've had this conversation a few times the last couple of days. I think Gabe Edens, the sophomore at Centennial, who just averaged 26 a game, just posted a reel about him recently. And I think there are things that I know about you, and I've seen you play, and I know you, you know, as well as I know you. I look at him, I look at his game, I look at what could benefit him. And I think if he spent some time with you in the weight room, spent some time with you in the gym, you know, gaining some understanding of what the next level is going to bring, start working on the things like you've been doing with Liam Campbell. Liam Campbell is in the gym with you, and you showing him things to come, things that he's like, I never learned that. I never learned that. It's changing Liam's game. And so Gabe Edens is extremely skilled, and I think he weighs about 185. He doesn't look it, but he weighs 185, and his body is I mean, he has a brother that's big and physical. So I think if Gabe Edens had some time with you, I think he would turn into something even more so than he thinks he could become. That's my opinion.
Right. Honestly, there's two players I'll say, and I'm not saying that I wouldn't say Gabe, but Nash Humphreys is a person that I like. Yeah, that's somebody I really would want to get in the gym with. And then honestly, the kid from Lake City, the freshman, or he's a sophomore now.
Josh Watson.
Josh Watson. I think he's somebody I could really help. Just from an athletic standpoint and like him learning his body, me teaching him how to use it, how to take advantage of people leaning on you whichever way. Back shoulder fades, turning face game, everything from 18 feet and in. And then obviously with stretches is range out to the three-point line and further. But just stuff that he could be efficient in one dribble, 1 to 3 dribbles, and that's kind of how I play. And then a player like Nash where honestly just how to get your shot off even more than you already do with a variety of step backs, side steps, runaways, misdirection stuff, how to get downhill on a pick and roll and be able to finish outside of just the floater. Everything off 2 feet from the up and unders to the ball fake, shot fake, step throughs, and reverse pivot work. And then honestly to teach them how to be like a Jalen Brunson type post up. That's what I try to do with all my guys and teach them from the inside out all the way through. So, because I want you to be a 3-level scorer. I want you to be efficient over each shoulder. I want you to be efficient with each hand. Turn either your back to the basket or face-up game. Have a variety of moves, but not overdo it. I'm not a big dribble the air out the ball guy. I'm a efficient guy. So 1 to 3 dribbles. If you can't make a play in the 1 to 3 dribbles, move it. And then also, how do you create assists? I'm a guy that can get anybody a shot at any time, draw so much attention and stuff like that. And then also just leading and breathing confidence into people and how that translates to being a leader as a point guard, being a leader as just a player on the team. So those are 2 guys that I could invest time into, and I think it would be beneficial for them, even though they have, I'm not saying like they have what they need. Like I'm not saying they need me or whatever, but I would love to help. And that's to anybody. I don't reach out to people very often, if at all, to be honest, I really don't. Unless I know you, if I have like a relationship with you or I know you or whatever, then I might reach out to you. But I don't go for nobody else's kids. I don't reach out to these other trainers' kids and hit them up and say you need to work with me. You're trainer. No. We all are very different, and there's enough kids out here that I don't have to trash on somebody else to get some other player. If you want, like people will reach out to my guys and tell them they need to train with them and all that, and that's fine. But at the same time, it's like, I've earned a relationship with not only my player, but the families and stuff, because mine is not a transaction. This isn't a transactional relationship. This is a full investment that I look at it. I'm in your life forever. Once you with me, unless you leave, and that's the only time that I really kind of fall back, is if you leave because of how much you mean to me, and I'm not possessed. I hate to say that I'm not possessive. I kind of am, but like I want you to do what you think is best for your basketball journey. And even if like I have college volleyball players, I have football guys, I have so many kids all over. Whatever you think is best for your life, your career, and whatever you want to be, go do that. If it's not me, that's okay. Communicate that with me. That's okay. But me and what I embody and what I'm trying to bring to you is something like this is a friendship for life. Like all of my kids was at my proposal to my wife. All of my kids was at my weddings, or my wedding. All my kids are a part of everything that I do. I got shirts with my kids. I got camps that I run with my kids. Once I get my own facility, I'm gonna have my kids be the employees working and training down so that they know like this is a family. This isn't just one of those transactional things. Hey, you come, you train, you pay, you leave. That's not what I'm in this for. So so these kids that I mentioned, and even a kid like Gabe or some of these other kids that I don't train that I think could use me. I would love to. Obviously, I'm super slammed right now and booked out, but there's people that I would try to invest time into, you know. So as much as I can help, I love to help people.
Yeah, that brings me to my last question. When you go watch guys and girls and whoever, when you sit there, and I've always been curious, I can't believe I haven't asked you this. When you watch, do you sit there and think to yourself, I know I can help that kid in this part of his game. I know I can help that kid with this part of his game.
Oh, yeah.
If this kid came to me, I would do this. Are you constantly thinking about that? Thinking about your training? Thinking about how you can help people?
All the time, and it's not even like it's not even just my kids. In a moment, I'm like, all right, we're gonna work on this for my kids, and then I'm assessing the game as I'm observing, and I'm looking at each kid, especially like, you know, the kids that are super talented. I'm like, okay, this is the area that they lack. This is the area they lack, and I'm not nobody's parent, and even to my kids, like I'm so honest with them where it's like I love them, and you're gonna see all the love, but you don't see the conversations where I'm ripping them, where I'm on them, where it's not even when they do good, it's not enough for me, you know. So, and you know, I give flowers when I need to. But most of the time, it's constructive criticism, and it's how I don't care about the 28 that a player had last year. What are you doing now?
Yeah.
And like, what else can you do? Like, I don't care about you just scoring. Are you rebounding the ball? Are you creating for others? Are you sitting down in defense and picking your man up? Like, how many times are you making an error by gambling? Are you going for steals and missing? Are you reaching? Like, I'm trying to teach you how to be a college basketball player so that when you get there, nothing is new to you. I had a kid, Preston Sherburne. He went to college this year at Corbin, and he comes back, and he comes back for break and goes, oh, them workouts is a joke. It's nothing. Like, you done got me through everything that you do is way harder.
Yeah.
Way harder. It's prepared him for what he's in now. Noah White and my other guys, Joe Mapoyo, those guys are still in college. You look at Ray J. Dennis, what he's doing at Baylor. I had him for 2 years. Like, and I won't take credit for none of the stuff he's doing. That's all his hard work. He's had tons of trainers. He put in the time. But it's like, it's nice to be a part of that journey. And, you know, if he ever needed anything, he'll call me and reach out to me. If I had questions, like this summer, Ray J went into the gym and shot 3,000 NBA threes trying to make 30 in a row. He was in there for 7-8 hours with managers, and they're just passing the ball, and he was shooting. He shot 76% out of 3,000 and didn't leave. The only reason why he left is because the basket started moving, he started getting dizzy. Like, those are the things. Like, you look at Derek Austin Jr., one of my very first people, one of my best friends. I just spent 4 or 5 years in the gym with him, lifting weights with him, running with him, shooting with him, working out, like doing all of that. Like, he goes home to Houston, now he trains with an NBA trainer. I don't mind. I want what's best for him. I want what's best. And this summer, he'll come and work out. Isaiah Harwell will come in the summers and work out. Case Wynot last summer came and worked out. Liam will jump into a couple sessions, some of these top guys. I'm trying to get more of these guys from other places to come and see what it's about. You know, and then obviously the guys that have me here that have been a part of this, they know what it is. I don't change up. I still rock with the same people I rock. I rock with my Mountain View boys. I got Fish, I got Chase, I got Lowe, I got Cam Downey. I got so many, and there's more. My young bulls, Aiden, Kendrick, and Deacon Irvin, and those guys. It's like, dude, I got so many kids.
Yeah.
Kobe Judd, like I could just keep naming them, and I still train all of them. All my college guys from Hayden, Josh, Preston, Noah. You know, these guys come back and they get in the gym with me. My pros, Jermaine, Roebuck, and then DA, and those guys that come. Like, dude, I just want to work. I want to help. So, Anybody I can help, I'll help. And
Yeah,
I
we lucky.
definitely sit through games and I'm like, I can help him.
Yeah.
So
You're always thinking it. Always talking. We always talking, always thinking it. Man, I appreciate you. So this was a different episode. I'm excited to watch and see how all over the place it was. But it was fun. It was fun trying something different. So end us in prayer and on to the next one.
Alrighty. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for guiding us here, Lord. Thank you for just the opportunity for us to share our opinions and our insights on the game of basketball and the game that we love, Lord, that you created. And Lord, that we could just be an example for those around us and those that may not be close, but Lord, that they can listen to us and maybe take something from it, whether it's positive or something that's constructive to them to better them, Lord. We're just thankful for the position that you put us in and that we can continue to shed light on everything that we do and set examples of what it's like to be Christ-like, Lord, and to follow you, Lord, and that we can even disagree on things but still stay cordial amongst each other, Lord. We love you and thank you for all the blessings in your wonderful name. Amen.
And end it with the fit. Tell me about the Jordan rookie jersey.
Okay, back to the Jordan jersey, 1984, Michael Jordan, rookie jersey, made for somebody 6'6". I know you see the fives on.
Ooh, fire.
Had to have the heat. The official NBA socks, these are official. You can't get these at the store or online. You actually got to know somebody or be a part of the association, which I don't know how many people have actually got that experience. I have. And then, obviously the leg sleeve of my cartoons of when I grew up and all the people that I love. Then my wedding ring for my wife, my tap for my wife, just so you know, Miss Corey Liggins, that's her. And then, everything that I got, short sleeve tee.
Boy, I love it. I just wore a Pete Maravich jersey because that's a bad white boy. You know what I'm saying? Pete, Pistol Pete. If you have not watched Pistol Pete's movie, The Pistol, it's an old school movie. One of the greatest movies I've ever watched as a hooper. Check it out.
See all of his ball handling drills.
Oh, dribbling on the train tracks. Like, oh man, episode 8, it's a wrap.
Yes, sir.